For a long time now, I've been wondering, who's really at fault? Is it Game Freak or is it Nintendo? I mean, really, who is in charge of this company? I'm glad you asked. The Pokémon company is founded by 3 separate companies. It's owned by Game Freak, the development company, the ones making the games. It's owned by Nintendo, the publisher, and it's owned by Creatures Inc. I know what you're thinking right now. Who the heck is Creatures Inc.? Well, they're in charge of the toys, but are most well known for the Pokémon TCG. They make the cards, and it's very successful. I don't think I've ever heard a complaint from the TCG. But, and this is a big, fat but, the games have been getting a massive load of complaints. So I think we can confidently say that as of now, due to process of elimination, we can remove Creatures Inc. from this equation. Each of these 3 companies own 33%, but since Creatures Inc. is just about TCG, it's not really about the games, I think we can simply remove them for now. Which leaves us with Game Freak, the game developer, and Nintendo, the publisher. Let's start with Game Freak. Sword and Shield specifically. This was the first Pokemon game ever released on the Nintendo Switch back in 2019. It was released at industry standard at the time, a AAA price game at $60. And if you have no idea what AAA means, this is as simple as I can put it. AAA games are the top 1% of games, generally priced around $60 to now $80, thanks Nintendo. And you also have AA games, which are generally priced around $30 to $50. And of course, single A games. Think of games like Geometry Dash. The more A's you have, the bigger the team, and usually the bigger the budget. The typical cost of a AAA game is around 100 to 200 million. Keep that in mind. Remember, Sword and Shield came out in 2019. How much do you think that game cost to make? I'll give you a sec. Approximately between 11 and 20 million. That's insane. Borderlands 3, a game that came out that same year, that game cost $60 and it cost 140 million to make. So already, what's going on, Game Freak? It's 2019. You're not putting the money that you need to be putting into these games. You're charging a AAA game to something that is not AAA. But wait, that was 2019. Let's jump a little more recent and let's jump all the way to Scarlet and Violet. Scarlet and Violet released 2022 and it was also priced at $60. Take a little guess how much this game cost. Estimated around 22 million. This is less than half of what it's supposed to cost. That is insane to think about. Elden Ring came out that same year, also a AAA game. How much do you think that one cost? That one cost 20 million to produce. You're 0 for 2, Game Freak. What's going on? But Revive, it's 2025. There is a new game out now, and we're going to Pokemon Legends ZA. This game cost, fat drum roll please, 13 million to make. Pokemon Legends ZA is a whopping $70 for their newest edition, compared to other games that came out this year like Borderlands 4, also $70, a AAA game that costs 200 million to make. I have another comparison though. Expedition 33 came out earlier this year for $40, and this game cost 30 million. I'm just gonna show you that comparison right now. Expedition 33, a $30 million game compared to Scarlet and Violet, a AAA priced game. This is sad. So, as of right now, we have Sword and Shield, released in 2019, at AAA price, but not a AAA product. Not in how it looks, and not in how much it cost. We jump to Scarlet and Violet in 2022, AAA price. Again, not a AAA product when it comes to optimization and all that other good stuff. And finally, we've made it to present times. Pokemon Legends ZA, AAA price, not a AAA product. I'm starting to notice a trend, guys. Can you see it? I'm sure you can see it. The Pokemon company is selling you a AAA game, AAA, but it's not performing like one. It sure as heck doesn't look like one, but yet they charge you as if it was. They're charging you as if this was a premium product, but we can all very clearly see that it is far from it. I would say they're putting in bare minimum effort for maximum profit, but this is honestly less than bare minimum. I mean, if you have an indie studio that's making a AA game that looks and runs better than your AAA product, then there is a huge issue in your development. But let's put ourselves in their shoes for a moment. I want you to enter the mind of a Game Freak developer. Enter their mind right now. Put yourself in their shoes. You are a game developer. You've obviously dedicated your life to earning your money, your income from developing games. Obviously, I would assume that you enjoy making games and you enjoy playing them. Would you really be okay with pumping out a game like this with your name on it? I am 100% sure that none of us here would ever want to do something like this unless you did your absolute best and are just simply incapable of making a good game, or you are getting a fat bag, a big old payday. So that's it, right? Video's over. Game Freak is completely to blame, right? I mean, they're producing stuff like this. They've never been what? Hold on a second. What is this? Game Freak? Is that you, baby girl? Hold on, so Game Freak is willing and capable of making a good-looking game, but not for Pokemon? Never in my 9 years of life did I imagine that Game Freak would be able to produce such an amazing product. Something so beautiful. But if Game Freak is able to make this, then Nintendo.
One more thing, Eugene, give me that. If I ever find one of these lying around again, I swear to
Baka.
I will stop being so polite. Get the out of my sight before I demolish you.
I mean, we all know Nintendo's no saint. I mean, here's just a small resume that Nintendo is very proud of. We have stuff like canceling a charity event. Most recently, the Switch 2, you don't really own it, you just own the license to play it. They added fake Discord, and you have to pay for that even though you already paid for your internet. They added upgrade packs for games even though you already paid for the upgraded console. They set a new industry standard for $80 for AAA games, the first ones to do it. Trying to make most games into key cards so you don't own your game, so in 12 years time you won't be able to play any of the games you own. And this list can go on forever, so let's just stop while we're behind. But what about other games Nintendo works with, like Mario, Zelda? What about them? Let's give Nintendo a fair chance, even though I don't think they deserve it. But let's give them a fair chance anyways. Now, unfortunately, I could not find any information on how much the Mario games cost to make or any of that, but thankfully, I did find information on how much the Zelda games are estimated to cost. So we have Zelda Breath of the Wild that released in 2017, but released with the Switch in 2019 at a whopping $60, industry standard. And we have Tears of the Kingdom that came out 2023, a year after Scarlet and Violet, and both these games are estimated, big emphasis on estimated, to have cost around $100 million to make. Again, this is just an estimation from Google. It could be higher, it could be lower. This is simply to compare Pokemon to another Nintendo brand. And I mean instantly, I'm sure you can already tell, the people developing Zelda obviously care more about their fans than the people developing Pokemon. They obviously care more about their game. From Breath of the Wild to Tears of the Kingdom, there is a 6-year gap between there. They obviously took their time to develop this game. And here's another little fact if you didn't know. Tears of the Kingdom was ready a year before release. The reason it wasn't published in 2022 and instead in 2023 was because they wanted to take their time to iron it out as much as they could to remove any performance issues, any bugs issues, and that is so commendable. They wanted to make sure that it was a product that they were very proud of. Now let's see how long it took Pokemon to iron this stuff out. 3 years. It took Pokemon 3 years to iron out the mess that was Scarlet and Violet. And not because of an update, no, it's because there's a new console, so now it's easier, right? The new console can just do it for you, right? You don't have to do much. The console's not free, of course, $500. Then you can get your upgraded Scarlet and Violet. So, as of now, we have a game development company that is fully capable of making a good game, and we have a publisher who is fully capable and has allowed other companies under them to take the time necessary to develop their games. Game Freak and Nintendo both own 33% of the company. One doesn't have more power than the other. And again, just in case you forgot, Creatures Inc. is not in this equation. They have nothing to do with the games. They realistically don't need new games. I mean, yes, when a new game does drop, it is a payday, but the reality is they don't need it. I mean, their newest ones, Black Bolt and White Flare, Team Rocket, look at all the Scarlet and Violet EBTs and all those TCG cards. It's not a necessity, it's a luxury when a new game drops. They don't need it. So I think it is safe to say that Game Freak and Nintendo are equally liable for the slop that comes out. And honestly, this is in my personal opinion, but I would go as far to say that Game Freak holds more blame. I mean, they're the ones that give the games their stamp of approval. They're the ones that develop these games. I do believe that it's definitely a CEO issue. The people that are making the decisions obviously don't care what the average gamer's thinking, are probably just hungry for money and don't really care about the gamers. Because I don't think a gamer who cares about the game would ever release this and be okay with it. And it's a sad reality. I mean, it truly is very depressing. Will we ever get a Pokemon game done justice? Will the 100 billion IP company ever produce something it should? Let me know what you guys think. Objectively, I think both companies are to blame, but in my personal opinion, I'm leaning more towards Game Freak. I mean, you're fully capable of making these games look good, you just don't. With that being said, guys, I hope you have an amazing day or night wherever you are. Make sure you subscribe. I hope I see you again. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.